Okay. Hello everyone. Okay. I'll explain this indicator section in detail so everyone can understand how to use it. Okay, in this new indicator section, the system is fully automated, so you don't really need to adjust much anymore. Everything is handled by the system, which works across all time frames, from 5 seconds up to yearly cycles. Okay. So, everything will operate automatically, and when you use this indicator, there are a few points I want to share with you all. Okay. For example, when we often encounter effects like when the market drops, right? Right now, I'm explaining in the 5-minute time frame section. In the case of this 5-minute time frame, and even in higher time frames, there are some similarities that we need to pay attention to. First of all, you can see the buy and sell signals in all the indicators, even in my own indicator. Okay, in my indicators section, I'm using the 5-minute time frame and we've already seen a buy signal. In this case, we see a buy signal, but the momentum is red. That means this trend will be based on, okay, there's a buy signal, so it's an uptrend. In this case, what it's showing us is what's called a bull trap. Okay, got it. When we see a signal like this, a buy signal, and then we notice strong selling momentum right at this order block, we can imagine that this is a bull trap. If the situation is reversed, it's the same idea but with a bear trap, okay? So you guys need to understand clearly, these are the signals that show us bull traps and bear traps. When we see signals like that, we should avoid them, we don't trade. Okay, we're only allowed to trade when we see it in the entry zone, you see? This line here is the entry zone, where we're getting ready to set up to buy, right? For an uptrend. In the case where we see that the trend is showing as an uptrend, this is the area where we start getting ready to buy in. Okay, but we have to wait for the price action to be above the confirm in channel line. So when the price area is based around this zone, it creates a very strong buy momentum effect, and the trend is likely to surge strongly and go straight up. So everyone needs to pay attention, okay? And when we see the price action is below the point where we, set up the entry, and below the channel character, then these are price zones that are very risky. So we're still in we're still in the sideways trend, or a sideways movement within a bear trend. It's not completely a buy trend. And we need to pay attention, okay, in the indicator section there's an order block part. I see, now I will turn off this order block part so everyone can see it more clearly. Okay. Here, you all see that? Here, I'm lying right at the order block. Okay, this is the order block. Do you see it? When the order block appears, the price drops and then turns back. If the sell zone is strong, it will drop again. And we're only allowed to use the zones that, reverse when they're right at the 30% position. And this part is just the signal part. When the price action comes back here, it's not really important, you know, because we're only setting the 30% position, and here is 100%. So within these marked positions, it corresponds to about 35% to 40%. So we'll take the 35% position, either 30% or 35%. For example, in the case where the order block opens, it goes down, then reverses and stays at the 35% position. This is the spot where we can determine the trend to make an entry. This area is called the stop loss sweep zone, okay? Same thing down here, we have an order block, and this trend is an uptrend. And when we see the pattern, the signal that formed earlier, we can see it's between bull and bear, right? Yeah, we see the buy signal, then we see the momentum is red, which is from the bear trend, meaning that signal effect tells us it's a bull trap or a bear trap. In the case where we enter a trade, as I explained earlier, it's in this part. But if you look closely at this signal section, you see it. So when they match up like this is a good signal. Here, the bull trend is clear, so we can make an entry, and when we make an entry, we have to wait in this area, which is this 30% zone. This is 100%, so now when we see the price action here, this bull trap is not entirely a bull trap. And now that the bull trend is clear, we have to wait until it's really clear. That means we have to wait for the price action to be above this confirmed trend of character zone, and only then do we enter. From the moment we enter, that's when our trade can be considered a safe trade, okay? So everyone needs to pay attention to this indicator section. Alright, in here, let's take a closer look at the details of the indicator. After that, we need to pay attention to this part. Okay, this is the price action section and the risk management part, and we also need to pay attention to the momentum area down here. Do you see this sale zone? This is the MACD, and the MACD is currently right on this line. And this is a phenomenon that could indicate this is an entry zone. Matching here, this is the entry zone. And if this MACD line is above the zero line, the buying effect is very strong. There will be a wave, a push-up momentum. So we wait until the MACD crosses and goes above this zero line, okay? And we can see that in this RSI area, it's above 50, so we still have to wait. So here, the RSI line is above 50, so this is when we start to get ready, you see? Here's the signal, there. Now we see this signal from the MACD showing up. See that? Entry. So now we wait for this price action to go above here. Then this wave can really be called a strong bull wave. Okay. These are the points I want to share with everyone when you use this indicator of mine. Okay. This indicator I made, this new update I built is only for use with Infinity Edge, okay? You can add other indicators, but this part is the special feature I wanted to build, and it's fully complete. First, you can see here the signal line. It's simple, it's right at its characteristic position, and it doesn't get noisy. There aren't any false signals, and the chart looks clean. See? There, you can see now that the price action is moving up. So, if any of you want to trade and want to clearly see the trend to avoid confusion, you can trade like this. If any of you, are worried that sometimes your trade's uncertain, then you can use the filter to help you know. For example, if it's green or blue, that's an uptrend, and if it's red, that's a downtrend. So when you use the filter, you also know if your mindset is okay and how to trade the right way. But my advice is that you all should practice and pay close attention. Because sometimes when we use too many signals, we might make the wrong decision about the trend. But you guys can rest assured because everything I've built here is very detailed, and the phenomenon of getting confused or experiencing FOMO will be limited because the way I created this indicator is to help you make more detailed investment decisions, so you can identify the trend and entry points more clearly to avoid making wrong decisions or falling into FOMO. So, the way I designed it is to make sure everything is combined together and detailed, so that investors or even myself can make clear decisions, have better choices, and avoid situations like FOMO. Because in this market, noise and fluctuations happen all the time, and they can cause investors and even myself to make wrong decisions. And when we get caught up in FOMO, we end up making mistakes, which will affect our trades. That's why when I created this indicator, I put in my effort, my experience, and my own concept. I paid attention to every detail, from the colors to the specific lines and parameters, so that everything would come together into a unified set of indicators to help traders make really good trades, avoid market noise, and prevent signals from being repainted. My indicator completely eliminates repaint signals. You guys can try the trial, and if it fits and makes sense for you, then you can subscribe to the service to get better trades. Okay, so I'll end this video here. And this is the part where I guide you all on how to trade using the ALGTP tool, alright? It's a tool that helps investors trade better. Okay, wishing you all a happy holiday week.